Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we are going to learn how to do long division in an easier way. These are the steps for long division. In this video, we're going to first section our problem off, and then we will divide, multiply, and subtract. Instead of bringing down, we'll bring our number up to repeat the steps in the next section. Let's see how this works in our examples. We're going to divide 3,752 by 2. And the first thing I want to do is I want to divide my dividend into sections. And these will be the sections that I work my division steps in. And I'm going to start in the first section with 3 divided by 2. And 3 divided by 2 is 1. After dividing, we multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I've divided, I've multiplied, I've subtracted, but instead of bringing down the 7, I'm going to bring the 1 up. I'm going to put it next to the 7, and in my next section of problem, I'm going to have 17. And now that I'm in the next section of problem, I start with division again, with 17 divided by 2. 17 divided by 2 is 8. Then I multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. My next step is to subtract. 17 minus 16 is 1. So I've divided, I've multiplied, I've subtracted, and instead of bringing the 5 down, I'm going to bring the 1 up into the next section that I've made in my problem. Now I have 15, and since I'm in the next section of problem, I start with dividing. 15 divided by 2 is 7. Notice I'm placing the 7 above the 15 in the section of problem that I'm working. 7 times 2 is 14. So I've divided, I've multiplied, now I need to subtract. 15 minus 14 is 1. And instead of bringing the 2 down, I'm bringing the 1 up into the next section of my problem. Now that I'm in this next section with the 12, I start with dividing. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I've divided, now I multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. After multiplication is subtraction. 12 minus 12 is 0. So my quotient, or my answer to this division problem, is 1,876. We are going to divide 4,820 by 5. And the first thing I want to do is divide my dividend into sections. And I'm going to put one digit in each section. And I'm going to start in the first section with the 4. 4 divided by 5 is 0. So I've divided. My next step is to multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. Then we subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. And instead of bringing the 8 down, I'm going to bring the 4 up. I'm going to bring the 4 up into the next section of my problem. So I will have 48 in this section. And I'll start by dividing. 48 divided by 5 is 9. My next step is to multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. So I've divided, I've multiplied, now I subtract. 48 minus 45 is 3. And instead of bringing the 2 down, I'm going to bring the 3 up into the next section of my problem. And in that next section of the problem, I now have 32. And then I start my division step again. So 32 divided by 5 is 6. After dividing, I multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. Then I subtract. 32 minus 30 is 2. And instead of bringing the 0 down, I'm going to bring the 2 up into the next section of my problem. Then I divide, multiply, and subtract again. So I have 20 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 minus 20 is 0. I don't have any sections of my problem remaining. So my quotient is 964. because in a whole number, we wouldn't include the 0 that we have in front of the 9. We're going to divide 1,740 by 3. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my dividend into sections, placing one digit in each section. Then I'll work my division steps one section at a time, starting with the 1. 1 divided by 3 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So I divided, I multiplied, I subtracted, and now instead of bringing down the 7, I'm going to bring the 1 up, and I'm bringing the 1 up into the next section of my problem. So now instead of 7, I have 17, and I'll begin my divide, multiply, subtract steps again. So starting with division, 17 divided by 3 is 5. Now we multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. So I divide, I multiply, I subtract. 17 minus 15 is 2. And instead of bringing the 4 down, I'm going to bring the 2 up into the next section of my problem. So instead of 4, I'll have 24. And I start with division again. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. And 24 minus 24 is 0. And I still have a section of my problem remaining. I don't need to bring the 0 up because it is just 0, but I do have to work my division steps again because I still have a section of my problem to go. So 0 divided by 3 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. And 0 minus 0 is 0. So the quotient is 580. We're going to divide 2,506 by 7. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my dividend into sections, placing one digit in each section. And I'll start on the left with a 2 and dividing. 2 divided by 7 is 0. After dividing, I multiply. 0 times 7 is 0. Then I subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. And instead of bringing the 5 down, I'm going to bring the 2 up into the next section of my problem. So instead of 5, I'll have 25. And then I start by dividing again. 25 divided by 7. And maybe you're not as comfortable with your 7s. So we can go off to the side and we can create an addition column with 7s to help us with our division steps. So that's 7 plus 7 more is 14, plus 7 more is 21, plus 7 more is 28. And what I'm doing is I'm listing my multiples for 7. And I'm only going to be dividing 25 by 7 here, so I've gone far enough. And I'm going to need to go to the 21 because 28 is too many. So 25 divided by 7 is 1, 2, 3. 7 goes into 25 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. And 25 minus 21 is 4. So I divided, I multiplied, I subtracted, and instead of bringing the 0 down, I'm going to be bringing the 4 up. And the 4 will go into my next section of problem. So instead of 0, now I have 40. And I will divide, multiply, and subtract again. And I'm going to need to go back to my column of multiples, my list of multiples. 28 plus 7 is 35. And 35 plus 7 is 42. So 40 divided by 7, I'm going to use the multiple of 35. So 40 divided by 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 goes into 40 5 times. So I've divided, now I multiply. 5 times 7, and again, I can get that from my column of multiples. 5 times 7 is 35. And then I subtract. 40 minus 35 is 5. And instead of bringing the 6 down, I'm going to be bringing the 5 up. Now I have 56, which means I need to go to my column of multiples, and I need to keep listing my multiples of 7. So 42 plus 7 is 49, and 49 plus 7 more is 56. So 56 divided by 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 goes into 56 8 times. So I've divided, now I multiply. 8 times 7, well, I've already done the work. 8 times 7 is 56, and 56 minus 56 is 0. So my quotient is 358. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.